Ahoy mates! Julie here with Friday's episode of Boaters TV. First up, we have a rescue story in nautical news. We came across this story on MegaYachtNews.com, reported by Lucy Chabot-Reed of the Triton newspaper. After running out of gas, losing a propeller on one of two outboards, and drifting for 3 days without food or water, a small refugee boat was rescued 11 miles northeast of Key Sal Bank by the crew of motor yacht Argyll as they were heading from St. Thomas to Miami. Bosun Christopher Burton was on watch on Argyll, a 153-foot mega-yacht, when he spotted the smaller boat waving them down. Argyll's chief engineer, Anwar Vasquez, was communicating with the captain of the boat via radio when he overheard a young girl of about 12 asking her father, "Is this when we're going to die now?" Argyll captain Robert Corcoran determined that no one was in imminent danger and that the boat was not sinking. Therefore, they decided not to let anyone aboard the charter yacht to avoid serious legal hassles. The Coast Guard later confirmed Corcoran's judgment. Instead, the Argyll crew secured the boat and delivered all available water, perishable food, blankets, and first aid supplies to the refugees. They then waited for the Coast Guard, who had actually received reports of the boat earlier in the day but had not been able to locate it. The rescue is a testament to the sharp eye of Bosun Burton and the unwavering help of the whole Argyll crew. As Captain Corcoran was quoted as saying in this article, "I talked to a lot of captains about this, and a lot of them said they wouldn't have stopped. There wasn't a question with this crew to stop and check it out and to help if those people needed help." Not too far south of the waters where this rescue took place is the site of a centuries-old tradition that we explore in today's Did You Know? Did you know that in many navies, including the Royal Navy and the U.S. Navy, a sailor's first crossing of the equator is commemorated by a line crossing ceremony? It was originally created by seasoned sailors to ensure that their new shipmates were capable of handling long, rough times at sea, but has endured as an initiation rite and bonding ritual. Here you are watching historical scenes of the infamous ceremony filmed aboard the USS Idaho, the USS Indianapolis, and the USS Enterprise from the years 1918 to 1965. The clip is on YouTube and the full video can be found at www.militaryvideo.com. Sailors who have already crossed the equator are nicknamed Shellbacks, or trusty Shellbacks, and referred to as Sons of Neptune, while those who are virgins to crossing the equator are called Polywogs, or Slimy Polywogs. During the ceremony, the highest-ranking seamen represent King Neptune and his court, usually including his first assistant Davy Jones and Her Highness Amphitrite. The Polywogs must undergo a number of ordeals, such as wearing clothing inside out and backwards, crawling on hands and knees on non-skid coated decks, being swatted with short lengths of fire hose, being petted with mushy fruit, and other humiliations orchestrated largely for the entertainment of the Shellbacks. Upon completion, a Polywog receives a certificate declaring his new Shellback status. A special variant of the ceremony is required to become a Golden Shellback, or someone who has crossed the equator at the 180th meridian, the international dateline. A watered-down version of the ceremony, typically featuring King Neptune, is also sometimes performed for passengers' entertainment on civilian ocean liners and cruise ships. And today we'll leave you with one more video of good-natured pranks at sea. Just for the hell of it. When new yacht deckhand Mick Daly joined the crew aboard motor yacht Chevy Toy, his new fellow crew members played a great prank by convincing him they needed help calibrating the radar. They wrapped his arms and legs in tinfoil, had him wear a little tinfoil hat, and made him perform elaborate movements at the bow of the boat, all while his fellow crewmates supposedly fiddled with finicky equipment. Mick was a good sport, of course, and everyone was laughing so hard they could hardly keep the camera straight. In the end, Mick caught on that he was merely the victim of a practical joke initiation ceremony when the crew monitoring his efforts from the wheelhouse instructed him to do the MCA. Thanks to the crew on Motor Yacht Chevy Toy for sharing the clip, which you can watch in its entirety on YouTube. And that's all for today's edition of the Boaters TV. Join us back here on Monday, and until then, a safe and happy boating weekend to you all. Take care. episode of the Boaters TV has been brought to you by the letter W. That's W for whiskey, and signifying I require medical assistance. And I'll take that straight up with a twist of lemon.